You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the World's Team Podcast, brought to you by the Believe Network, powered by FanJoe Sportsbook, and sponsored by Cowboys Experience for your ultimate meet and greet, stadium tours, game tickets, and so much more. Be sure to go to www.cowboysexperience.com and use the discount code WorldsTeam 2025. First things first, Viva Las Vegas. The Dallas Cowboys won 33-16 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, putting a now win on the win column, now being 4-5-1. And like as always here on the World's Day, I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Mike Poland. And before I do say something, Mike, it's a bit of a double celebration for me right now. Because, and this is not Dallas Cowboys related, the fact that my country, Scotland, is now going to the World Cup. Yeah, I am in cloud nine right now.
How many years?
28 years.
It's impressive.
I'm happy we're going to go there. That's the most important. I know we're going to lose and probably be dead last, but the fact that we're going makes me happy.
You've got to be in it to win it, mate.
Yeah, but yeah, Mike. But hit me straight with it. What did you think about the game?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Let's start the show off saying two statements that are very, very true. The first statement is the Cowboys look much improved. They come away from the bye. Defense definitely improved. Offense didn't really, apart from early in the game, we'll talk about that in a moment, skip the beat. But other than that, they were absolutely on fire. Defense does look improved. That's statement number one. Statement number two is also the Raiders are a bad team.
Yes, so I am seeing, especially on social media and talking with our fellow compatriots at the UK Cowboys fans, it's like, yeah, it was a good win, but it was against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. But here's my argument against that. Like the fact that when we look at our previous game against Arizona, a game that we should have won statistically from top to bottom with their backcourt quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, like, this was a good turnaround. And also knowing the fact that of the past couple of weeks, what we've, as Cowboys Nation, has had to deal with the passing of Marshawn Newland. So I think a lot of those factors do come into play as well. And what we did get to see, the debut of Quinnen Williams, who we will talk about, had a great start to his Cowboys career. We got to see glimpses of Revel. We got to see Overshawn back in the fold. We actually got to see a difference in zone coverage, in my personal opinion, with Logan Wilson in the fold. Like, I thought that was one of the things I noticed specifically, was like we were actually doing zone coverage with the help with the defensive line now putting much more added pressure to the quarterback, and things were like connecting the dots a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coverage was much better. There were moments, but that's football for you. You're gonna let some things leak. Certainly as the game went on, it happened. But at that point, the Cowboys were playing the clock more than they were the Raiders' offense. The early wins were impressive. What's most impressive, and we spoke about in the pregame show, Ashton Jeanty, and they held Ashton Jeanty to 7 rush yards, which is impressive. I mean, you hold any starting running back to less than 10. And if you remember, I said in the predictions, you said hot takes. I said they're going to hold Ashton Jeanty to less than 40 yards. I went hot takey. Well, not only did they hold him to less than 40, they hold him to less than 10. You do that to any NFL running back, let alone one that is supposed to be this you're supposed to be the next Zeke or Adrian Peterson, whatever you want to call, the evolution of running backs, and they held him to an average of 1.2 yards per carry. Yes, I know what people are going to say. Well, the offensive line, very true. Offensive line was a struggle. Geno Smith getting sacked 3 times. Always trying to escape the pocket, trying to create, but the Cowboys were able to simulate pressure very easily, especially through the middle. The inside defensive line were knifing through like no one's business, but they still kept a starting high caliber running back to less than 10 yards. Impressive.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I mean, I did have my doubts going into this game. Remember, like
You did. You did. Yeah.
I genuinely like thought it would have been in very much Dallas Cowboys fashion for us to be the favorites going into this game and lose, especially being on the road. But I'm glad I kind of changed my mind and went on to winning ways. So I'm very grateful to myself of changing that decision. Um, but yeah, like I mean, for me, it's now moving on to like so the gauntlet that we do have, which we will talk about on Thursday when we're going to do our pregame show. Um, but with this game, let's talk about the some of the key moments here. So in terms of like the Dak Prescott, he was just unreal. 25 out of 83 in terms of passing attempts. 268 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, with a rating of 138.6. The only downside, he had 1 fumble. In terms of a James, oh God, I'm stuttering now. Williams.
Jadavion. Not even I'm doing it.
Ugh. I'll go back to it. George Pickens, 9 out of 11 catches, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. CD Lamb, 5 out of 7 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Jake Ferguson, 4 out of 5 catches for only 16 yards, but most importantly, 1 touchdown. And then Ryan Flournoy, 1 out of 1 for 2 yards with 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, all of it very impressive. The fact 4 passing touchdowns, all going to 4 different players. You had CD Lamb in the 4th quarter, wide open over on the left, drops that pass. The pass could have been better. Dak was under pressure when it happened, so the ball got delivered slightly low and off target. You expect an elite wide receiver like CD Lamb to catch that ball. I mean, I know people give him the moniker of drop-in passes. Much can be said about that. You can go either way. Okay, fine. But, if you put that one in, that's 5 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers. So it was a very impressive. I know you said about the fumble with Dak. I mean, Max Crosby, we did say about him, and he was a worry. Dak did hold on to the ball too long on that play. I will say that. If you want to go with the rough and the smooth, everything that Dak did beyond the fumble was it was perfect, it was spot on. Pickens did save an interception on that deep pass down.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the call. I have no problem with that play. I quite like it. The fact that you're willing to do that stresses the defense, puts other ideas in defensive coordinator and Pete Carroll's head. I have no problem with that call whatsoever. Lucky to not get the interception, and Pickens ironically made a defensive play on that one to sort of knock and corral the ball out of harm's way on that one. But Dak did hold on to that ball too long, but at the same time, his offensive line did allow the pressure to get out there.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I mean, the offensive line played quite well. I mean, there was moments, and Williams got stuffed at the line a few times. Some of them where he was caught off balance, trying to cut back in and getting knocked down. But generally, it wasn't a bad game by Williams. And then
93
the wide,
yards.
yeah, 4.5 yards per carry. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, but it was because when you look at it, we talked about this. The defense for the Raiders isn't bad. Their run defense particularly was probably better than their pass rush because it only really comes from one play. The rest is manufactured through other ways. But their run defense isn't bad. Williams still put up a 93-yard game. But what was happening there is the Cowboys were so easy in the passing game that they were just floating it around. Third down would come along and they would manage to get it on a particular play. Pickens, Lamb, Lipke, very particularly, really set up that red zone touchdown for Jake Ferguson.
Well, speaking about likes of Ferguson, the one thing, and speaking about likes of third down, it's the fourth down. One thing I really liked was we decided to go for it on fourth and short. Like I thought that was,
I agreed with it.
I agree with it 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, like given where we were at on the field, we were in the red zone. It was like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 or whatever it may be, and we ended up getting 6 points from it.
And the Raiders are bad at stopping third down. So if you're allowing, I believe off memory serves, they were allowing a 46% conversion rate on third down.
I remember you saying that last week, yeah.
Yeah, you go for it. So you call it 50%. You go for it on fourth down. You're playing the odds. So I quite like what they did there. I wish they'd gone for it on other moments, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the end result.
Yeah, I think when it came to the more later part of the game, I think it was just more being more
Sportsmanlike.
I would say sportsmanlike. I would say just trying like be more in control. Like, do not give the Raiders any ounce of like if we were to fail on that fourth down, then it would give them better position. Like we didn't want to give the Raiders any chance at all to kind of like gain any momentum in that game.
What really killed the momentum? I mean, Javonte Williams doing what he did was great. Pickens was just an animal in this game.
Unreal.
He's now second in the league in receiving yards. Me and Dave Hellman were talking during the game, and he was like, "Do you think Pickens is the wide receiver one for Dallas?" I was like, "Don't you talk about my 88 like that?" And he's like, "I'm just saying."
Well, it's funny enough that Jerry Jones has came out on 105.3 The Fan saying he is going to be having discussions with George Pickens soon.
You've got to. At this stage,
if based on what Jerry was saying, he wants to try and keep a hold of these guys for a more longer term to actually bring that stability going forward for Brian Schottenheimer. And just to add on top of that, when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, the balance of offense was really good. I think
play calling was great.
33 passing attempts, and I think it was only like 32 rush attempts or something like that. It was
22, hold on, 22, 20, 31, so you weren't that far off.
So 33 and 31, so a total of 64 offensive snaps. That's a great balance. It's almost 50-50.
Almost, yeah. Yes, and even in the passing game and those fourth down calls, everything matches exactly what you would expect. You were going, okay, that is exactly what you need to be doing. Schottenheimer on form, on point with the play calling, and I don't think everybody's talking about how the defense stepped up. Quinnen Williams, and they're talking about Pickens and Dak. I don't think people are talking enough about Schottenheimer and his play calling. It was on fire. He was exactly where it needed to be. Getting certain players involved, and I think that he needs to start thinking about other players he needs to start leaving out, but we could talk about that Thursday. But overall, brilliant work. It was great. And I know we're just talking offensively because we'll move to the defense in a minute, but offensively, I mean, offensive line had its moments. Terrence Steele again.
Yeah.
Cooper Beebe had a couple of moments where he wavered.
Same with
But
Tyler. Yeah, same with Tyler Booker. Kind of with the unsportsmanlike conduct, that was not
yeah,
ideal. I mean, I get it, you're a
that
rookie,
just came at the
but
right
that was
time.
but it came at the right time. But it was still
Mm.
very boneheaded move to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like
But that's a
there
rookie
was no need.
mistake.
But
That's a rookie mistake.
it was completely unnecessary. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing we have to laugh at is Tyler Guyton's Oscar performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
As
mean,
soon as it happened, I was laughing. I was watching it, which is why my eyes are like this. I was watching it in my bedroom, and I think that must have happened about 2:30, 2:45 in the morning. I'm just sitting in my bedroom laughing. I get why he flopped, but there's enough officials on that field to watch what's going on, and they would have seen that punch.
I will say, and our good friends from True Blue Italia will appreciate this, but Tyler Guyton was basically trying to be Marco Materazzi reincarnated. If you don't know who Marco Materazzi is, look him up on Google. Used to play for Italy in the World Cup.
Just touch him.
Touch him, falls down.
Yeah.
But that's the funny side of it. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, Mike. I genuinely feel like it was a very well balanced offense. The play calling was pretty good. Again, I know we're saying it's just the Raiders. They are a bad team, but given all the circumstances of how we lost, like the way we lost to Arizona, everything what happened with Marshawn Nealand, like how the players are returning to getting that right mental state to try and play for number 94, get that win for him. I think that was a great response, and especially like historically, like we're on the losing side against the Raiders, so I think that this was like the perfect game, especially for players to make their debut and kind of see that revive, like that version 2 of the defense we were kind of talking about, with Overshawn coming back, Revel in the fold, Williamson, Logan Wilson, who I would like to talk about at one point. I thought he actually had a great game.
Yeah, but I mean, let's move it to the defense. The only thing I will say, the added thing I want to say about the offense, I know they want to get Pickens done, and I think what is so good about the balance with that duo is if you watch, CeeDee Lamb's being bracketed. So he's having double coverage that side, which opens Pickens more, which is why he was so open. But one of the reasons why CeeDee Lamb on that drop pass was so open is the defense shifted, if you like, and they're trying to cover Pickens because he's having a wild game. He's coming up to 150 receiving yards in that game. So they shift. Leave CeeDee Lamb wide open. What you're seeing in that instance is the game will start with the defense wanting to pick its poison and go, just take out Lamb.
Yeah.
So then when they switch the other way and they go, we need to stop Pickens, Lamb then becomes wide open. So you're seeing a perfect chemistry, a perfect, like a stew boiling, where it's like, whichever way you go, you're screwed. So I think Dallas and Jerry need to sit there and go, we cannot lose this. This is just a perfect blend right now. We can chop it up and lose it by not pulling the trigger on this. But I think they need to get it done.
Yeah. Speaking about like Lamb and Pickens, one thing, and you would definitely notice this, but they weren't really in there for the first series at all, which was quite
No.
interesting. But
Yeah.
like whether what the reasons are,
Coaches.
like they're not going to disclose the reasons why, but there has been rumors there and there. They were out.
That's right.
Obviously,
That's what I viewed. Is what was coming out from messages that I asked is they broke curfew. So as
yeah,
part of their punishment is they were to miss the first series based on that. I mean, whatever that does to them is fine because you get that sort of day out of them. It's like make that ritual going forward.
but at the same time, you need to apply the discipline to the football team. Doesn't matter if you're a starter or a backup. I mean, I'm fully in favor of that. I mean, I think it was a lesson once learned. Don't do it again. Pretty much.
what was funny is Pickens scores that touchdown. Once they get back on the field, having a great first drive, the camera rolls over to the bench. First thing you see, Pickens and Lamb sat together. Schottenheimer just hugs them both, just gives
Yeah,
them massive hugs,
I noticed that.
arms
Yeah.
around them. Yeah, yeah, and you're just like, okay, there's no
And you
love
get
lost there.
and you can see the pure unity, like they're all like it's like proper, like yeah, we got you, we got you. It was like that type of like that positivity within the team there. So really great to see. But
Yeah.
moving on to the defense, Mike.
Yeah, we gets interesting.
Yeah, so obviously we had the debut of Quinnen Williams,
Mm.
who I thought had a really great debut, like multiple tackles for losses.
He's your DT1 now.
Oh yeah, and one thing I noticed, especially within the interior, he really complimented Kenny Clark in that game massively. Really complimented, and not just that. With Kenny Clark being more effective, that now opened up the doors for the edge. It's like it's a proper chain reaction.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like Donovan Izaraku had a great game. James Houston got a sack.
Mm.
Man, trying to remember who else got a sack actually. I'm
Well,
kind of lost.
it was Kenny Clark also got one late, and Houston and Quinnen Williams on 1.5 sacks. Yeah. So Clark and Williams shared a sack. Then Williams got his
It was
own sack.
four sacks.
Yeah. So it was impressive on defense. But what you also saw is, I agree with you. It opened things up. But what Quinnen Williams really did that you saw mostly is the chain effect that it had for the linebackers.
Massively.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I
even
and I'm
Shamar
so
James had a bounce back day.
Kenneth Murray.
Mm?
Come on. Like
Yeah.
like I never thought in my days the way how Kenneth Murray was playing this year, he would be the guy to actually do the deflective pass that led to the interception. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I genuinely thought it was a like someone else in the linebacker core that caused it, but no, it was Kenneth.
Yeah.
It was
Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray. Yeah,
And he was tracking back, and everything that Murray did on that play was textbook. He was exactly where you
I was
need to
like, where
be.
have you been for the past
Yeah.
8 weeks or
Yeah.
9 weeks?
Mm. I mean, he had a good effect on DeMarvion Overshown. He had a good effect on Shamar James, who had a better bang. It wasn't perfect from Shamar, but it was much improved from what it was at the Cardinals. Logan Wilson was just being Logan Wilson, kind of like what you expect there.
I think with him being into the fold, and this is where I want to talk about Logan Wilson, like his back dropping back into coverage, I think that actually helped the rest of the linebackers to get themselves set properly.
Mm.
Like, and we didn't see that. And again, I know it's just the Raiders. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but you could see there was like a difference, but especially when you're getting that extra pressure from the defensive line to the quarterback on Geno Smith. It actually really did help with the zone coverage so much more effectively, and we got to see that.
Yeah. Because there's the irony is that what you're doing up front, especially on the interior, has a ripple effect on the edge, which helped the linebackers because they were able to just get to the ball. They can flow to the ball because Williams was just clogging gaps. Kenny Clark was much the same. And then you've seen the linebackers flow. And what do you see have a massive bounce back day? One of his best days, Deron Bland.
Yeah.
Bland has a fantastic day. And you see him, and even Kalen Carson. Kalen Carson
Oh,
comes on the field.
he was great.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're just seeing a better day. Malik Hooker has has a good day. I say another, but he has a good day coming back from injury. You see
Marquise Bell.
Marquise Bell, yeah, okay, makes the interception. And okay, that's fine.
Reddy Stewart, I thought he had a good game also.
And then you're seeing, and he only got targeted once, Siobhan Revel, where he's up against Michael Mayer. But the pass goes for it does, but he's in coverage. He's there. He's in the hip pocket. If the ball was going to get in there, he wasn't going to let that pass get in. All as a result of your foundation which is the interior defensive line doing its job.
Yeah.
And the irony is Quinnen Williams is doing all the things that Cowboys fans wanted Mazzie Smith to be doing all these years.
Yeah. And this is something I want. Remember when I was talking about, like, this is like a second start for Matt Eberflus right now, essentially.
Could be.
Like, because the way I'm saying that, because obviously when he first came to Dallas, like, just this year, there's players that he's had to try and, like, convert to match his scheme. He's now, we've managed to bring in more players and actual players that actually does fit his more, like, Overshawn, etc. Even though he wasn't acquired by Eberflus, but he would fit into that scheme a bit more effectively, I would say. But with Williams there now, but Logan Wilson also, and Revo now play, like, back in the field, we did get to see that better balance in the defense. And once again, we're going to use this quite a lot for the remainder of the show. I know it was just the Raiders. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But it was a drastic improvement. Now, the question is, can we carry this on to Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yes. I mean, so there's your big test. The good thing is you can now forget about everything that happened before the bye, especially the Cardinals game. You have the Raiders game. That then puts confidence.
It resets, builds confidence. Yep.
Yeah. Your defense is looking much better. The defense, for everything that the people are saying about the Cowboys defense, did not allow a touchdown till the fourth quarter. This is supposed to be the worst defense in the league. Took till the fourth quarter to score a touchdown.
Yep. It's an improvement.
That's an improvement.
Like it or not, like, despite who we played against, it is an improvement. And it's something that we can keep going forward with. So, and I don't know if you're actually aware of this. It's a wee interesting stat. Like, I was looking at Matt Eberflus's history as a defensive coordinator for the Colts. Under his first season with the Colts, his first, I think it was his first 7 games, he was 1-6.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, didn't really have a good set, obviously, but they went on to be 10-6 that year. And the following year it was a bit of a mixed game. It was more the offense was the problem that year. I think 2019 was the year where Andrew Luck was kind of, but the following year after that's where, like, 2020 to 2021, that's where, like, Eberflus was starting to really make a name for himself as a defensive coordinator. So I think, and I'm not trying to get on the bandwagon for Eberflus, like, to me, he's still on the red hot seat right now, ladies and gentlemen. He really is. But I think it's just a matter of, if we can just start adding these extra pieces together, things will start to click more instantly. And now we've brought these new additions to this football team. Who knows what could happen for the rest of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's go off Jimmy Johnson's statement that you've got to wait till Thanksgiving to know where your team's at.
Well, lucky for you and me, Mike, we're going to be there.
We're at the Eagles game. So,
yep. We fly out Saturday.
We do. And, you know, talking of the Eagles, I know that this is way, way ahead. You're looking at the Chiefs as well right now, and you're going, whew.
It could be a very winnable game right now. It could be.
I mean, they're 5-5.
Yeah. I mean, they're in the same situation as us, obviously.
Exactly.
There's some games you're like, how the hell did the Chiefs lose that game? Like, when you look at how their matchups were, but you're like,
I was saying this about the Chiefs last season, though, Paul. I was like, they're getting lucky wins, you know, like a missed field goal from the opposition, or, you know, like a fumble here, or, you know, like an injured player in the fourth quarter.
Referees.
Or referees, yeah. I mean, much can be said about that for the Eagles this year with their false starts, but...
Yeah,
I mean, we'll go into that Thursday. We'll go into that Thursday.
We'll definitely dive into that on Thursday. But yeah, folks,
because it's getting worse.
It's like, how more obvious can it be? But yeah, like you said, mate, we will look into that on Thursday for the pre-game show before we pack our bags and fly out to Dallas for the game. Yeah. But I guess obviously the other thing as well, Brandon Aubrey, one field goal for 50 yards, 4 PATs, looked solid. Turpin looked, special teams in general looked really consistent. I thought.
Yeah, Turpin was fine on special teams. He was getting it past the 30-yard line.
Yep.
Offense, though, I don't know what's going on there. It's like as if he's taken a step back. Lucky for the Cowboys, it's a step back for him, but Flournoy stepping up. So,
Yeah.
and they've still got the likes of Mingo and everything else.
Well, I was just about to ask you about Jonathan Mingo. What the hell do we do with him? Because I had a little bit of hope for him to kind of like get some more game time because he did look great in during training camp, etc. It's like, right to me right now, like with like Turpin and Flournoy kind of like really being those gadget plays and coming in clutch when it really matters most. Like, where do we go with Mingo right now? Like, is this now?
He was inactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made him inactive in the game, and I want to see him. I want to see how he looks because he gives you something different.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Like, and I know people think, I know a lot of our fans are kind of think it's like, oh, we just wasted another 4th-round draft pick. Yeah, it's just, well, we are wasting it based on we're not actually giving them the opportunity as of right now. That's the problem.
The other problem as well is that you go, well, you could do with a third wide receiver. Well, not true. I mean, here's the facts. Pickens is second in the league in receiving. Lamb I think he ranks 28th in receiving yards. Bearing in mind he's missed time, right? So that's not bad going. So they're your top 2 targets, and they're going to take the lion's share. Then you got Ferguson. So then, really, what you're talking about is your wide receiver 4. So you're kind of like going, ugh. So
Turpin,
what do we do
Flournoy.
here? You Turpin, Flournoy, I'm lesser Talbot. But on top of that, you've got, as you've seen in this game, sprinklings of Brevin Spanford, sprinklings of Hunter Lipke.
I like that. I like the Spanford inclusion into the game as well. Just add a extra difference there.
Lipke, you throw Lipke into
oh
it.
my goodness, yeah, he had a great game.
Oh, but that was one of his better games, or best games, you could say. Setting up that, I know he was just shy, but that literally set up the Jake Ferguson touchdown, going for it on foot down. Fantastic, great, like that. So you say all of that, and then you go, well, even with all of that, where do you slot Talbot in? Talbot, where do you slot Jonathan Mingo in? So it's a difficult situation. It's a good, difficult situation to have. The only trouble is
great as a coach, but it'd be incredibly frustrating for Mingo himself, really. And
especially when you carry that he's carrying with him that 4th-round trade pick. Because then
and drafted 2nd round. It's only so many years, like not so many years, only what 2 years ago or something like that. 2 years ago.
2, 3, yeah,
3 years ago.
I mean, what the trouble is if Mingo does go to waste, you turn around and you go, that's 2 4th-round picks that you've now wasted. And then you go, man, we've got so much trouble on the linebacker core. We could do with some help on the defensive line. You're like, there's your 4th rounds. This is what happens when you waste 4th-round picks. Those gems in the rough that can play the Mike linebacker for you, or can play as a decent 3 tech, or as a rotational, or in sub packages. That's where you get these guys from, and the Cowboys are fault in there. Maybe not. I mean, it's too early to say that they've resolved the situation. Way too early. But this is what happens when you waste those picks. So, that's the situation the Cowboys are at right now. And if Mingo does go to waste, then he just goes into the 2 4th-round picks that they wasted during trades.
It's a sad reality if that was to be the case. But yeah, Mike. But like I said, Cowboys win 33-16. We're on to Philadelphia at home at AT&T Stadium. Like I said, me and Mike are going to be in Texas. We're going to be at the game, so you're going to see a lot of social media posts, not just on here on the World's Team, but on our other platform on the UK Cowboys fans also. Big group of us all going together, so we're really, really excited for that.
And lots of World's Team giveaways. We're taking a load of stuff out with us to give away.
So if you're coming along to our sponsor Cowboys Experience at the meet and greet event, we're going to be there. Come say hi. We're going to be doing some giveaways, and some stuff is going to be part of the raffle for the Cowboys Experience, I believe. So be sure to join us.
And we'll be doing some live shows from a couple of bars too, Paul.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely. But yeah, folks, me and Mike will be back on Thursday to do our pre-game show against the Eagles. Obviously, with us on Thursday, we're not going to have the full injury report leading up to the game because we're going to be traveling. So we're going to do a little bit early. But before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone where everyone can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or X at Kenfig Cowboy. That's Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K. And you, Mr. P?
You can find me at IMPStew on X and Instagram. Speaking about my social media, it's all about Scotland right now, so I do apologise. It's not about the Dallas Cowboys right now, so you can understand my happiness right now. So, but yeah, folks, we will see you guys on Thursday. But just remember, folks, it's not just America's team, it is the world's team. We'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap on the World's Team Podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team. Touchdown! It's the World's Team, only on Believe, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?